What is up, guys? I'm here on Adobe After Effects, and today we're going to be learning how to power up. Alright, so let's get right to it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you open up After Effects. Once After Effects is open, we're going to switch this right here where it says 8BPC. We're going to go ahead and press that right there and go ahead and switch it to 32 bits per channel. And then just go ahead and click OK. After that, we're going to go ahead and double click, and we're going to go ahead and import our files. So what you need is the landscape picture and the Goku powering up. Go ahead and open those pictures up. First thing we want to do is go ahead and drag our landscape down here so we can have the size of this picture as our composition. Second, we're going to go ahead and drag Goku right on top, and then go ahead and resize this guy. We need to put him down to where he fits in the frame. Somewhere around there is pretty good. And I'm going to go ahead and switch this over to fit so I can go ahead and see my full composition. Now this next part, it's going to be a lot of steps. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of steps. But they're not complicated. I mean, they're steps that you can pretty much memorize and just do it over and over again. So the first step that we're going to do is go ahead and add a new solid. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's going to be right click right here. Go ahead and go to new. And just click new solid. Yeah, we'll leave it at black for right now. If you don't have it at black, just go ahead and switch it over to black. And we're going to name this Aura. And make sure that the size is the correct size of your composition. Just click OK. So now we have this black nothing, right? And what we're going to go ahead and do to this one is go over to our effects control, right click on here, and we can now go into our effects. We're going to go to noise, and we're going to add a fractal noise. So noise in grain, fractal noise. That's going to create this little bunch of mess of clouds. And we're going to go ahead and switch that. Let me double check real quick. Switch this over here to a dynamic progressive. We're going to leave this in soft linear, and we're going to go ahead and invert this. So go ahead and invert it right now. And then these little numbers, we basically play around with them until you get something that you kind of like. So I have it set to around 392. And I have my brightness set to around -61. And the rest I have just as is. Now, this is my settings. If you want to play around with it, of course, you can. And later on, as we finish the effect, you can go back to fractal noise and retweak it if you feel that it's not to your liking. So go ahead and leave this as 392, and this one I'll just leave like that. And so that's it for fractal noise. We're done with that little part. The next thing we're going to go ahead and do is add a sphere. So we're going to go ahead and type sphere over here, grab CC sphere, drag it in here. Once you have this sphere added, what we're going to do to the sphere is go ahead and change the radius. So we're going to make it a little bit bigger to where it kind of covers him up, and we can move it here to where it's there pretty good in that little area. And then we're going to actually go ahead and resize it so we can turn it more into like an oval that kind of covers him up just like so, maybe a little bit like that. And we're actually going to change the blend mode of this. So if you don't see your blend modes here, you can just put toggle switches and you'll see your blend modes. And we're going to change the blend mode to screen. That's going to allow us to like disappear that black and just leave the white there. And let me go ahead and change everything else here. So let's go ahead and open up sphere just to double check that we have everything else correct. So right here under light intensity, that's fine. Under our shading, we're going to go ahead and open that up. And we're going to go ahead and change our ambient over to 100. And then we're going to change everything else here to 0. So just like that. So 100 and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way down to the bottom. And once we've done that, we can go ahead and just close this one up. and then close this one up as well, and then that as well. After that, the next one we're going to be adding is going to be CC glass. And CC glass, we're going to go over here and just type in the word glass. And you should see CC glass. We can go ahead and add it. Make sure you're adding it to him. You can drag it in here. Just make sure that it's going into the aura. And then that gives us this little stylized look over here. And under glass, we're going to go ahead and change a couple of things in here. So the first thing we want to do is under surface, make sure that we set the bump map to none. And then under properties, make sure it's set to lightness. And then these little numbers can be left as is. The only thing we're going to change is the displacement. I have it set to -200, and you'll see how that works. You can kind of do whatever you want with it, as a matter of fact. And then we're going to go ahead and change this over to everything here actually stays the same. What we might do is change something in this one, and no, we're good. So one thing I actually forgot to do under fractal noise, make sure you have fractal noise selected. We're actually going to go ahead and move this around. So we're going to open it up and go to transform, and under transform we're going to put here at 0. Move this guy over to around, well, it's already at 30, so if you don't have it at 30 seconds, you can go ahead and put it at 30, but I'm actually going to move it to around 15 seconds and go ahead and trim to comp work area. That way we're only working with our 15 seconds here. And at the very beginning, right here at 0, we're going to go ahead and add a keyframe to offset turbulence, and we're going to put this at -5000. Then we're going to move this over to our 15-second mark, and we're just going to put 5000 here. And that should be moving this. It's actually moving it down, so I put it in reverse. So this will be 5000. And then this one will be -5000. And let's see that one there. Yeah, there we go. Now it's moving in an upwards position. So we're done with fractal noise. I just forgot to make that little part, and so that's where we went back to it. So after CC glass, what we're going to do is add a linear wipe. And then linear wipe, what that allows us to do, and we're going to add it to him as well, is to kind of, remove certain parts of this shape. So with linear wipe, we're going to set this angle down to 0, and I'm going to go ahead and move my linear wipe, and you can see that it starts to remove the bottom portion, right? So we kind of want to remove it a little bit from the feet, just like that, so it starts like about his ankles areas, and we're going to feather it out a little bit so it's kind of soft. 75 is pretty good. I'm actually going to move it a little bit so that it's more on him there. And so that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and close that one up, and we're done with that one. And then we're going to add a, let's see here, I believe displacement, oops, sorry guys, a turbulence displacement. Here it is. We're going to add this one over again to our guy right here. Under turbulence displacement, we're going to just do something that might be a little confusing, but hopefully not too much. First thing we want to do is set this over to turbulent, make sure that it's there. These numbers, you can play around with them as you wish, but I have them set to 70 and over here to 40. And so really what this is doing is making it so that it's not such a perfect circle, and it kind of like curves out a little bit side to side, so works a little better. And so what we need to do now is change those displacements throughout. So what we're actually going to do is right here under aura, we're going to press U. That's going to bring up our offset turbulence under fractal noise, the ones we made. So we're going to go ahead and click on the first keyframe, hold shift, and then click on the second keyframe. We're going to press copy, so Control C. After that, we're going to go over to our offset turbulence. We're going to hold Alt and click on our keyframe, and that's going to bring up our expressions, but we're not actually going to use an expression, so we're actually just going to erase that and click out of it. And so what that does is it leaves our offset turbulence right here, and we can press on it and press Control V, and we paste our keyframes. If that part was a little confusing, you can just go ahead and call me, and I can go ahead and help you out with that. But now it gives us keyframes for this one, and so our displacement and stuff of turbulence is moving throughout. So we're good there. So after we've done the turbulence displacement, what we're going to add next, it's actually an effect that we have to install. And so I already installed it, but I'll go around and help you guys install it because it might be a little confusing, and you might need my my credentials to put that in there. But actually what it's going to be called Color Vibrance, and it should be under Video Copilot, and it should be VC Color Vibrance. You're not going to have it. Remember, when you get to this step, just call me and I'll help you install it. You guys will download it from Schoology. So I'll go ahead and drag this over into this one right here, and so now our effect turns into a green color, and I actually want to change mine into kind of a golden color, just like so. And that's pretty much it from there. You don't really do anything else except add the color. And from here, then we're gonna go to one more, which is called Glow, and stylize Glow. Bring that over here, and under our Glow, I'm just gonna change my numbers over to like around 49, and then this one to around 41, and then this one to around 0.8. And so of course this numbers, it depends on you, whatever you like, and I'm going to switch this from add over to screen, and then after that everything else stays pretty much the same. But that now gives it a glow right here, and as you can see, it's starting to look pretty cool actually. I kind of like the way it looks. And so then the last thing we're actually going to do is pre-compose all this. So we're going to right click and pre-compose. Actually, you guys don't have pre-compose, so you're going to have to go to what is it, edit or layer actually, and then pre-compose. Your shortcut is Control Shift C. So go ahead and press pre-compose, and we're going to name this Aura. Click OK, and then if you double click on it, you should see that this layer has your effects. If it doesn't, then what we're actually going to do is go to our original one, select all of them, and we're going to put Control C. Then we're going to double click, go inside our aura, click our effects control, and put Control V. That's going to drag everything in here. Then we can go back to our landscape and just delete the ones that are there. So if that doesn't make sense, call me. But basically we just moved them in here so that they're not out here. The reason why we're going to do that is because now we're going to add a new adjustment layer. We're going to call this adjustment layer Displace. We're going to put it under the aura. We're going to search over here for Displace. We're going to use displacement map. Yeah, so we're going to grab our displacement map, and we're going to bring it over to our Displace right here. And so right here under Displace, we're going to switch it over to Aura. We're going to switch this over to around, I have them set to like 7, or actually I put them to 3 and 3. And if you notice, what this does is it kind of creates an effect around it that's moving the image as well. So if you pay attention to this little area right here, it's kind of showing that there's like heat or something coming out of it. So that's what we're going to do. And after that, we're pretty much done. You can render this and export, and this will be our effect. So this is how you create a power-up aurora in Adobe After Effects. one of many different ones that you can do, but this is one that is, how would I say it, free with After Effects. You don't have to pay for any plugins, so you can create something that probably looks a lot better or something like that. But hey, not bad. I think it looks pretty good for being a free Aurora that you can create just by using the After Effects presets. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and hope you all learned something cool today. And as always, stay tuned for the next one. Alright, peace out.